The Tempest is really the one that's surprising me in rehearsal. I've always had an unsureness about how I would approach it, and now as I come into this rehearsal process, in the context in which we're doing it, it feels rich and very strange and very beautiful.
You look at Prospero and Miranda, and of course it's a very specific situation, and they have been shipwrecked on this island, and it's just been the two of them. But there's such incredible truth about father-daughter relationships.
The usual idea is that you have this sense of a man who, at the end of the play, is so old, he's given up his magic and he's literally going home to die.
The story is so simple. A man washes up his enemies on a shore and punishes them and decides what to do with them, and then eventually it has to make a decision over whether to have mercy on them, and arranges a marriage between his daughter and his enemy's daughter. That's it. There's nothing else. And it's an incredibly simple story, and it's deceptively simple. Unlike Twelfth Night, where the plot is actually rather complex, and you would take me quite a long time to explain it. It's beautifully plotted, it's structurally perfect. And Tempest is simple, so as a director, you can't rely in quite the same way on the structural cleverness of the work. It's a simpler piece. But once you trust that, it really unveils itself. It's like he's distilled all the themes and preoccupations of the other two plays into a much cleaner, purer, simpler, but thicker brew.
The only evidence that we have, there is a definite age to him, is he has a daughter who's 15. He says, I have given you here a third of my own life. There are different ways that you can interpret that, but the most obvious one is that those 15 years take up a third of his life, which makes him 45. Now, that's still a bit younger than me, but not that much. I think it's possibly more interesting that he's not that old, but what you get is a sense of a man. How is this man going to exist and survive in that old world now, having spent 12 years in this weird hothouse, magic island environment? And he's become quite an oddball, quite an odd person, quite an odd character. And this sense of that he's going back to his dukedom, to be duke again, which was something that he never really wanted to do anyway. And this sense of an audience thinking, he's just that's going to be the strangest thing in the world, and how is that going to work out for him? Rather than thinking, oh, he's going to go home and he's literally just going to die.
I think the older Shakespeare is obviously interested in slightly different themes. He's interested in themes of reconciliation over time. He's interested in themes of political power and the role of art as a curative force. He's also really accepted his deep love of theatre. There is real theatre in there. Prospero is making theatre. He's making water spirits. Strange wedding celebrations that literally vanish into thin air is an ode to the theatre. It's Shakespeare's love affair with the theatre, which is coming to a close.